Has Sasha Banks been fired by WWE? At the SummerSlam 2021 pay-per-view, we were supposed to see Sasha Banks take on Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, obviously, we saw that Sasha Banks was not there, and she was not cleared to compete in the match against Bianca Belair. So WWE threw a curveball and made fans think that Bianca Belair was actually going to face Carmella, but then out of nowhere, Becky Lynch came out, and Becky Lynch made her return to pro wrestling after all these years. And then we saw Bianca Belair lose the SmackDown Women's Championship in a very short squash match against Becky Lynch. And many fans were very angry about this, but at the same time, fans are worried about what is going on with Sasha Banks, what's happening. Some fans were worried that she may be sick, she may have an illness, they worried that she could be injured, or there were even some fans who were even speculating that Sasha Banks could be gone from WWE, that she may have been released, and sadly, it is being reported that WWE may have actually released Sasha Banks. So these are just rumors. These have not been confirmed yet. But if these rumors are true, this is a huge, gigantic loss to WWE, and because Sasha Banks is one of the biggest stars in WWE, especially in the women's division. She's one of the top 2 or 3 women in the company. If this is true, WWE really has made another bad decision with releasing a wrestler. Now, obviously, we have seen that Sasha Banks is interested in acting. She was in the Star Wars Mandalorian TV show for Disney Plus, and it was very successful. A lot of people said they liked her acting, they liked her performance. And this has led to many people to speculate over the past several months that Sasha Banks probably isn't going to stick around for a long time in WWE because of the success of her role in The Mandalorian. And there have been rumors off and on over the past few months that Sasha Banks wants to keep acting. And WWE has been pulling back on that a little bit. WWE has been upset about Sasha Banks wanting to do acting. And as we saw earlier this year, Sasha Banks took several months off, and she didn't return until a few weeks after Money in the Bank. But for the looks of it, this is not another hiatus. This is the fact that Sasha Banks may be gone from the company, and this would just be another huge name who got released this year. We obviously saw Bray Wyatt get released. We saw Braun Strowman get released. We also saw one of the more famous women in WWE the last few years, Lana, get released recently as well. So WWE doesn't care, about how big of a name you are. They will release you if they're not happy with you. And from the looks of it, WWE just wasn't happy with Sasha Banks wanting to do acting, and they just didn't want her to keep taking time away to be in The Mandalorian or to be in other TV shows or possibly do movies as well. So if this story is true, if Sasha Banks is gone from WWE and she doesn't return, or WWE doesn't decide to rehire her, this is bad. And WWE is going to get a massive fan backlash when this story becomes official and is revealed to be 100% accurate. This is going to be a bad situation, and WWE is going to get a lot of people very angry. A lot of fans are going to be very upset about this. Shocking plans about Brock Lesnar's future in WWE have been revealed. So at the SummerSlam 2021 pay-per-view, of course, we saw Roman Reigns defeat John Cena definitively in the middle of the ring. There was no interference. But then after the match, we heard Brock Lesnar's music play, and Brock Lesnar finally made his return to pro wrestling. Now, obviously, we saw that Brock had grown his hair out, he had a ponytail, he also had grown a pretty substantial beard, and some fans also know that Brock looked like Brock had gotten bigger since he had left pro wrestling. Now that Brock is back in wrestling, a lot of fans want to know, what does the future hold for Brock Lesnar, and will this lead to a Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match in the near future? Now, from the looks of it, that is going to happen, and rumors have confirmed that Brock Lesnar will be facing Roman Reigns at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view in October. Now, this report did upset some fans because they were hoping that we would see Brock Lesnar face Roman Reigns at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view in September. And now that the plans for Brock Lesnar have been revealed, that he's going to face Roman at Crown Jewel, fans really want to know who will win this match. Will it be Brock Lesnar? Will it be Roman Reigns? Or will the match somehow end in some type of non-finish, a disqualification or something? The plan right now is to actually have Brock Lesnar defeat Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel. Now, nobody knows exactly how long this title reign will last. It could last a month. It could last a couple of weeks. It could last 6 months. It could last a year. But Vince McMahon has decided that it's time to take the title off of Roman Reigns, and he feels that having Roman hold the title for over a year is long enough, and now it's time to put the title back on Brock. And Vince McMahon hopes that this will create even more fan interest in the WWE product, and the TV ratings for SmackDown will go even higher than they are right now. Now, when these rumors were reported, some fans were very upset about hearing this, that Brock Lesnar is going to become Universal Champion again, because they don't want to have Brock Lesnar sit on the sidelines and have him not on TV at all. Now, it is true that Roman Reigns only wrestles on pay-per-views. Occasionally he will wrestle on SmackDown, but it's usually just on pay-per-views. He does do house shows though, but at the same time, I do somewhat agree with Vince McMahon that I think that we have seen Roman Reigns as Universal Champion long enough, and I think it is time that we do change the title and give it to somebody else. But in reality, you do have to look at this clearly and see that Brock Lesnar, he's not going to be around for long periods of time. He's going to take huge breaks. So putting the Universal Championship on him for a long time, it's a bad idea. So if he is going to win the title, I believe that it should be for no more than maybe 5-6 weeks, and then just put the title back on Roman, or give it to somebody else. Have Big E cash in the Money in the Bank contract on Brock Lesnar. It would be a great way to get Big E over, having Big E cash in on a big star like Brock Lesnar. What are your thoughts on the rumor of Sasha Banks getting released by WWE? And what do you think about the possibility of Brock Lesnar becoming Universal Champion? Leave a comment and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification so you don't miss our next video.